Hi and welcome to West Country Producers. And today we have Mike Anderson from Taste of the West and Hale Events. We do a bit more energy today. I've had to really pull that out myself because what people don't know is it's only 10 a.m. here and I'm still only on my second coffee. But thank you for coming.
Oh, you're very welcome. Nice to come and see where you are and see Lou again and, get involved and be part of it.
Yeah, so talk to me a little bit. So I'm a bit cold and fresh on you. So I know, we've had some chats and you said good things. But talk to us a little bit about what you do.
Okay.
Explain.
My main role is event organising.
Right.
We as a company, Hale Events, have been running trade shows in the Southwest for nearly 40 years.
Jesus.
Starting in Torquay with a big gift show that started in 1965 originally.
And that's how you met.
Yeah.
That's what you were saying.
Yeah.
When you say gift show, what... I'm trying to think
Everything
what,
you can...
Torquay, so what was that entailing?
Everything you can imagine for the tourism seasonal trade. So whether you're looking at confectionery or sticks of rock and the like, personalised gifts, everything you could imagine that you see in a regional seasonal holiday shop or tourist attraction or personalised gifts through to handmade things. So that was brilliant. It was a brilliant show. It was exciting.
Is that why a lot of the stalls have the same stuff on them?
It might be.
Because I always wondered that. You go in one shop, right, they'd have you'd have similar stuff, and one would be £50 for a magnet on a fridge, and one would be £5. But you'd have predominantly the same stuff. So I guess it's a way of helping get that stuff stocked into all of those shops. And if you're maybe an independent, you want to put gifting into a retailer, you maybe have a stall there. I'm trying to think of all the scenarios.
The people who would come and exhibit would be either importers, wholesalers, distributors. And as time's gone by, it's still a very strong market, but the routes to market change. So a lot of those shops are now buying through online wholesalers. So they're going direct to China or other manufacturers. There's still a very strong UK-made gift product range as well. But we as a business... that show served us well for a long time, but we met 20 years ago, Taste of the West. And Taste of the West are the regional food group.
Right.
And they were losing their public funding at the time. So we stepped in as a company and said, look, we'll put on some shows for the food and drink industry for you. We'll run your show at West Point in Exeter and we'll take the financial risk and you can just bring your brand. And it was the start of an amazing relationship for Hale Events with food and drink.
Yeah.
How many of the shows have you done so far partnering with Taste of the West?
I think 2027 will be the 22nd.
Wow. Okay.
So 21 this year.
Wow.
And so it means a lot to us as a group.
Jesus.
Yeah. It's something I'm personally passionate about as well, is good food and drink. I'm a cook at home and I love good food. And we're blessed with the Southwest being such a larder for incredible producers.
A larder, I like that.
Yes.
I'll use that again. We'll call it that one of our,
You've done really well though. Like 20 plus years. It's a long time to run an event like that. And I went, was it April? March?
The February one down at West Point.
February,
year.
yeah.
Yes.
It was really well attended, really, really good producers there. You had people from all over the country, I think,
Yes.
But it was really focused on the local area. And I had a few samples and they're very good.
What did you have? Go on, talk to us specifics.
So I bought some crazy bastard hot sauce, which I think Wes has definitely had. So yeah, it's really good.
Wes always tries to dabble in hot sauce and it ruins him.
Yeah,
but he still keeps doing it. I don't know what's wrong with him. And has it always been at the same location? Do you always do it at West Point? Does it start there and end there?
The food show has started there. Yeah. Taste of the West as a company has always been Devon based. Over the years since 91 when it started, it's had offices in Cornwall, Gloucestershire. Yeah. But finances and management mean that you've got to be efficient. So Devon has always been their heartland, and I think Devon as a county, people in Yorkshire or other places may argue this, is probably one of the most productive and varied counties for food and drink in the UK.
The Yorkshiremen will always argue that they have the best
Exactly,
of everything.
they would,
It's
yes.
God's country and all that.
Yes.
So yeah,
Devon. We've always been based in Devon, and the shows have evolved. Taste of the West has evolved.
So Taste of the West, what we're saying is it been in the same location every year for since you mentioned you started it at West Point, and it's still at West Point, is it?
Yes, it is.
So
yes,
that's
it
like
is.
its home of where it have you taken it on the road or done anything? Have you ever experimented with it?
Well, it's an interesting one because I guess I'm talking about two different organisations.
Yeah.
We as Hale have shows in Devon, Cornwall and Somerset.
You do it all over, yeah.
But we focus on the Southwest. We made a decision probably 15 years ago that we love working here, we love living here. What can we do here that will give us longevity, income, security, and food and drink? Because everybody needs to eat and drink. It's a product that's quite hard to get across online.
Yeah.
People might want to buy the product again once they've tried it from the online shop. But first experience tends to be in person.
Yeah.
And so we've got a product where people need to come and try it. And it'll never be...
You can't taste it over the internet.
You can't. You can't go out for a nice meal online, either. So it's an industry...
Yeah, I don't know how that... let's not, inspire anyone to
Well, I
come
have
up with
seen
a concept,
Charlie in the chocolate factory, isn't it, where you can. But we're a way off, I think, teleportation. So,
you take it out the telly.
Yes.
Was it a bar of chocolate, wasn't it?
It was, yes. But it shrunk as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, in transit. So
yeah,
good.
That's right. Yeah, I remember now, yeah. I loved those films, they were brilliant. I think the original was the best, for sure.
Definitely. So we've the show's grown, evolved, developed. As Lou said, we've got companies now from not just across the UK, but internationally who come and take part because they see the Southwest as a very strong market for the hospitality sector. So we've got innovative products coming over from Italy, oven manufacturers from there. We've got services for retailers in food and drink for the hospitality sector that are international and the best of the international services. But the only reason it really works is because that's supported by all the local producers.
Yeah.
And that's what people come for. They come for food and drink. We market the shows as food and drink. And then we feed them all the other products and services that they might need for their business.
So in terms of the hospitality sector down here, obviously being a big market, right? Yes. Do you find that they're going to these events and they're well attended by hospitality and they're going there to actually look for new suppliers and genuinely want to put new stuff into their ranges? Is that kind of from a trade perspective? Because you've got, I'm assuming it's B2C and B2B, right? These
just
events.
B2B.
Just B2B.
All B2B.
See, I know nothing. I'm learning lots. So it's just B2B.
All B2B. And yes, people are coming to find new suppliers, but also catch up with existing suppliers and find out what new ranges and innovations they're bringing.
Yeah.
So it's an opportunity too for an industry which can be quite fragmented. If you're a producer, and I'm sure you've had this chatting to the other producers, they exist in their own world. They're up in the morning making, they're packing, they're marketing, they're selling.
Yeah.
They're doing everything themselves. And so the interaction with other producers is minimal often. And by putting on a trade show where all these people can come together, they can share their issues, they can chat, they can explore, they can find solutions to problems that they've got as a producer, as well as the visitors coming through, whether they're food and drink retail or hotels, bars, cafes, pubs. It's for everyone to mingle, share experiences, and find what's new and innovative that's really going to help drive the business forwards, because it comes down to money, of course.
Yeah.
We've all got to make a profit. And if people are producing things that are better quality, can attract a higher end price because of the provenance. On a menu, if you're going and eating out and the pub or restaurant can advertise exactly who's produced that particular cattle, that beef, or the drinks are local, you can probably stick a little bit more on the cost and add to your margins.
Yeah,
you don't have to go to the cheapest. You can go for the better quality and add more value.
Yeah, I think also we're in an age now where people are seeking out better produce when they're going for meals. Like they're trying to look for that. You'll look at a menu a lot differently if it's locally sourced within a certain distance and it's got you know there's local producers. And I mean, I noticed a lot more going into bars and restaurants that they stock local. They tend to stock local drinks, local confectionery, whatever it might be. You know, they tend to have that stuff there. You almost look bad if you don't, I think.
I tend to agree with that. And I think
like, why are you buying something from up north that could be produced locally here?
100% agree. And it meets environmental needs as well, you know,
And you're
sustainability.
supporting your neighbour as well, which is really important, because these are the people that are around the corner from you or in the same area, and it makes sense logistically because they're on your doorstep, so it's a lot easier to get to you. It has the provenance, which you spoke about, but also you're supporting the people that are right next door to you, which makes a lot of sense. Yeah,
I think it keeps the money in the local economy. You know, you're able to, have unique aspects. It's a bit like, you know, if you go to France, you've got the provenance of their products, you've got the terroir of their wines.
Yeah.
You know, we've never really done that as much in the UK, and yet we've got now some of the best cheeses in the southwest. We've got some of the best drinks. We're getting there in the UK on sparkling wines, and
we're doing really good sparkling wines. Yeah, the sparkling wine and champagne. I mean, you can't call it champagne, obviously, but they reckon that with the way that the climate's changed, actually, the UK is probably better suited for growing now. Actually, that's
absolutely.
probably quite factual in terms of
and winning international awards.
Yeah,
So-
they are, and it's good. It's good to see. Because we're a bit clueless, really, for a long time. I think got so comfortable importing everything.
We have. And
that was a lot to do with having a very good, strong navy and a strong import, you know, being very good on the sea, right? So we would go into all over the world and bring in the best of stuff here. But then you stop making stuff. And that's where it gets...
It's a risk.
it's a risk.
You know, food security and on a practical level as well. But I think it's more than that. It's having pride and love for our own area, our own specialities, and, you know, the soil that grows it here. You know, as I commented when I came in, I love your logo with the colours of Devon, and it's a unique landscape.
Yeah.
So the more we can do to help support that, help add value for farming, which is, you know, finding it quite tricky. Lots of farmers are diversifying into making speciality products or
They're going direct to consumer now as well, right? A lot of that's happening, I've noticed, over the last...
We're speaking about that a lot on the last pod, in that a lot of the agricultural businesses are trying to create that, bridge that gap between their direct consumer and try and not take out of supermarkets. There's still a place for them, but they can make better yields. The end user gets a much better product, much more fresh, because it doesn't have to go all the way around the country just to go back to them again.
Yes.
And it makes a lot of sense for everyone, really. So
But in reality, they're not selling to the supermarkets a lot of the time. This is a problem with the supermarkets as well. They've got a responsibility to do better. I mean, a lot of the meats are imported still.
Yeah.
A lot of the food's still imported. But yeah, I like the idea of, I follow a few businesses where they're selling boxes of either food or veg or whatever direct to consumer through the power of the internet as well, but delivering to a certain radius because it's hard to get out and get it to everybody and fresh. And they're making a lot more money.
Yes.
And they're a lot more competitive than they would be if they're trying to go through a third party.
Yeah.
So in terms of the landscape down here, do you have is there specific distributors and wholesalers that are quite big in the Southwest that you work with?
There really are.
Yeah.
And they're almost the key to the success of the local producers, because without wheels to get you to the end,
to get it everywhere is
customer,
hard, right?
Yeah. It's very difficult.
It's a logistical nightmare, but it's also
you need somebody who knows the roads down here as well.
But if you're delivering a van,
Devon roads,
if you're delivering a van full of, say you have your distributor and you stock a bit of everything, you're going to be able to sell on one order would get you. I worked at distribution for other industry, but we call it like opening the basket, right? Like they've got to open a basket with you because they're going to buy these products that they're going to need. Why wouldn't they then try a little bit of this or a little bit of that and add that in? And so distributors are a really clean way of getting into more customers.
Yes.
And there's some monster distributors in the UK and sort of globally. But I was curious to understand how it works down here.
Yeah, there are still
they're still around.
The big players.
Yeah.
The huge big players are still obviously very important to the region. They're delivering to schools, hospitals, MOD sites, as well as hotels. But we've also got some people who take huge pride in local. Yeah. And they give those companies who are making a chance to get their product out to a wider audience. It also means that we, with the show, can bring in producer businesses who don't necessarily have distribution, and then they can tap into the distributors that take part.
Yeah,
nice.
So when we first started running the events, there was a lot of protectiveness from the distributors because obviously you've got their customer base; they don't necessarily want to share it.
Yeah.
But what they've discovered is by all being in the room together, it finds its level. The customers find who they want to deal with for X, Y, and Z, and we now have probably 6 or 7 of the key food service distributors taking part at all of our shows, working alongside each other.
If someone is, say, a new producer and doesn't have relationships like that, how would, if I started making a biltong, for example...
He's thinking of himself.
Yeah,
definitely.
exactly.
There is a Lou's biltong. Lou's biltong, big Lou, coming to a shop near you.
How would a producer get listed with one of these distributors?
Well, you can go direct.
Yeah.
We find the shows are a great way of doing it because you're there with them and you can go and chat to them and they can try your product. And
people drive like I met a guy who was doing pork scratchings. I'm from the sort of Midlands area. Pork scratchings are a big thing up in the Midlands. Some of the best in the UK. I think it's to do with the ovens. Can't remember exact science, but there's only certain of them ovens only exist there specifically. Anyway, his business was built on just going around like every pub and just putting them in there, and then coming back a week later, putting more in, and he's done exceptionally well. It's a massive company now. Wow. So you can just build it like that. And I think in the beginning you probably want to do it like that because the risks, distributors can put a lot of pressure on the and retail, Tesco's or whatever, if they can put people out of business quite easily as well, right? By stretching them too thin too quickly.
Yeah.
And their payment terms aren't necessarily great. Whereas, it's true, right? That transition is really difficult to go from small producers.
When do you do that? And something you mentioned before, the direct to consumer.
Yeah,
we've seen grow massively since COVID.
Yeah.
That period of time meant all these businesses had to innovate to sell their products because they had all this production and no business customers to put it through. And so the direct to consumer has grown hugely. And we're seeing people enter the market differently than they used to. Yeah. They used to enter the market going, I want to sell into shops, I want to sell into pubs. And now they're going, well, actually, I go direct, that cuts that margin out. Yeah. And I can make a bit more money, I'm in control. But we're finding that as they grow, they say, well, I don't really want to pack 1 million parcels each day. And at that point let's go and speak to some of the food service or wholesale distribution and move into that sector because we can send a pallet out a week instead of individual parcels. Sure. So it has changed, definitely.
Yeah, some products need to be in cafes and restaurants like all over really to get the benefit of the product, for it to do well. Like how many... and there's all sorts. My mate of mine works in more like sort of like he was in a popcorn company, he was in a meringue company, he was in all these different FMCG companies, but smaller or independent ones. But they get a contract to go into like every Costa or whatever, and it's like massive for their business, like huge turnarounds. And it's like it's nice to see that, but all started very humbly, just selling to the local people, local businesses. Yeah,
definitely.
Friends and family, even in the beginning.
But it's exactly that journey that you talk about there of those businesses looking, how do I scale? What do I need to know? What do I need to do? And that's where Taste of the West, and that's why I got involved more heavily with them and really want to try and support that food group because we run awards. We give that quality mark onto products so that people can go, this has been assessed, it's been judged, it's been
You've got a
tasted.
stamp. You've got
a stamp on it. Yes,
It means a lot as well. The Taste of the West logo and the gold winners and all the other winners. It's like you see that and you know it's a good quality product. So,
but it's rigorous. You know, the judging process is rigorous.
Unlike, by the way, supermarkets with their specially selected.
Yeah.
Means nothing.
No,
No one voted that. It's just they just put the sticker on it, and it sells more. They put it in slightly better packaging.
Yeah, definitely. and it's also as part of that, as the producers grow, they need to know, well, how do I get into a supermarket? How do I? What do I need? What accreditations do I need?
And supermarkets do want them to come on. They're quite. I mean, I don't know if it's changed a lot now, but they tend to be quite. They do want to be looking at what's coming through.
Yes.
New suppliers.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot to do with that because you might not have all the right accreditations.
You might not. You might
Your packaging might not be correct.
You might have the time.
Yeah.
To look into it and deal with it because you're busy producing. So this is where.
So do you offer services
support.
as well?
Yes,
then,
we
like
do.
consultancy-based services, marketing services? Because even packaging design is a whole world of. And now they have to have. Your packaging has to be a certain amount of it needs to be recyclable, hopefully all of it.
Yes.
So there's all sort of faux pas you can make on just packaging.
Definitely.
And when your food's already in it and it's going to somewhere, it's
Yes.
a bit too late. Yeah. So that's obviously a big area.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And it's a bit of a minefield. And it's one where, if people move to the southwest, and we see a lot doing it, particularly after the pandemic, coming and saying, I want to change my lifestyle. I want to look for a better work-life balance. I want to do something I'm passionate about, but don't necessarily have the knowledge and the skill set to do so. And so Taste of the West can provide all of that. And we've actually just relaunched brand new membership benefits in May, which include access to training for your staff, so that if hotels and pubs need to put all their staff through hygiene level 1 or 2, or they want to learn more about HACCP, SALSA, BRCGS. I don't know what it stands for, sorry. But
Go on, give me all of those letters. Salsa's not just a dip then. Okay.
They get that support. They get a helpline to deal with their environmental health things. So it's really providing, and we set up as a CIC, so we can do this on a base of values, not on profit.
That's quite cool,
Yeah. So it's really there as a support organisation for the whole Southwest. Yeah.
Wow. So where do you see this going? You've been doing this for 20 years, maybe a bit longer, who knows?
A little bit.
We'll say 20 just to keep your viewers guessing.
Yes.
Where do we think the next, you're adding a lot of value to these areas. Is there do you still have like a massive ambitious plan to do something completely different and with it, or is it just sort of steadily sort of evolves over time?
Ambition. I mean, the directors now, there are 5 of us who decided to reinvigorate this organisation.
Yeah.
And they come from different areas of food and drink.
Yeah.
We've got Charles Bourne, who's Westaway Sausages in Newton Abbot. He's a sustainability champion.
Yeah.
So, for example, he himself and his business have developed a fully compostable cling film.
Right.
So the cling film that you buy your sausages in from Westaways, you can leave and it will just turn to nothing in a few months. So you've got that sort of innovation. We've got James Simpson, who runs the Food Service Centre up in Cheddar, dealing international supply chain sandwich production. But his passion is Somerset charcuterie. And he has a business making high quality charcuterie, but using Somerset ingredients and the best sort of Mediterranean methods. And so he's bringing both the bigger picture view, food safety, food hygiene, packaging, labelling, with the passion of a small producer. We've got Chris Milton, who's Thatcher's sales director for 15 years, Thatcher's Cider, bringing knowledge of drinks and export and those markets. And we've got Jerry Marwood, who was the managing director of Spa UK.
Right.
So we've got him with his retail franchise knowledge. Massive ambition. Massive ambition to grow the organisation and to make it more impactful.
We've got some really good people on the board. Would you call it a board?
Board, it is. Board. But we're surrounded by amazing volunteers. We've got people who've come on board and just giving their time. And we do this for nothing.
Yeah.
We're not being paid and we don't want to be. We've got our own businesses that we run. clearly there is a vested interest because, you know, seeing a regional food group do well will help us all.
Yeah.
But it's something that invigorates us with our own businesses as well.
So you know, forgive me, you might have explained all this. So we're talking a lot about Taste of the West and how that works and obviously what you're doing. So Hale Events, talk to me a little bit about, is it a mixed bag of events? Or is it a select few that you do every year, or what's
select few?
Select few.
Believe it or not, the gift show I talked about earlier used to be the only show we'd run.
Yeah, okay.
One show a year.
In Torquay, and that was it. Brilliant. What a great life.
It's wonderful.
It's
One
a
show
good
in
lifestyle,
January.
wasn't it?
It's lovely. I mean, people underestimate sometimes the time it takes to prepare.
Oh, mate, I don't.
You know, you do 4 days a year and then the rest of the year off.
It's not. It's all year round.
Yes.
For sure. I know that already, yeah.
So we now have shifted and we don't run the gift show anymore. We decided to take a leap and, as a business, just focus on food and drink.
Yeah.
So we've got the 3 county events I mentioned in Cornwall, Somerset, Devon.
Yeah.
And we've got ambition to do a few more, but organically, naturally, as they grow and develop, and supported and working with Taste of the West, other food groups like Food Drink Devon, looking at Somerset organisations who've got ambition also to help raise the profile of food and drink in Somerset, because I think lots of counties have got the same ambition. They would love to see more local food and drink in their local outlets.
Yeah.
How do you achieve that?
Yeah.
So I think the two
So it's going quite well, really. You've got a lot going on.
Fun.
Yeah, you've got loads going on.
Yes.
Yeah. So how do people find out about these events throughout the year? What do we have to, you know, hopefully you're in an area and you just know because it's popped up and you can see it. But in terms of what you do, is if anyone wanted to find out more about what you do, and also if they wanted to be more involved as a food producer, what's the best way to go about doing that?
Well, pop and see the website. You know, we've got haleevents.com, hale-events.com as our website, but also tasteofthewest.co.uk.
Tasteofthewest.co.uk.
And, you know, those will give you great access to food and drink knowledge.
Yeah.
Both B2B and less so, but equally B2C, because the issues are the same, whoever you're selling to.
Yeah. It's customer, right?
Customers, precisely. So, yeah, we're happy to talk to anyone about their food and drink journey, whether they're somebody looking to start it for the first time. How do you do that? How do you get your product out in front of a market?
Yeah.
Or whether you're established and going, I want to go into the next stage of my journey of food and drink. I want to grow. I want to expand. How do I do that?
Yeah.
We've got people and experts across the board through Taste of the West that can support them.
Yeah.
And our shows form part of that as Hale Events. You know, it's one part of it, but there's lots more going on.
Do you get a lot of sort of hospitality people sort of joining as well to understand more about how they can improve? It's not just necessarily
not just the producers.
Because I mean, any restaurant is a producer, I guess, of some description, right?
And we have awards for all them as well. So it's Taste of the West. We not just for the product, but for the people delivering it to the customer.
That's really important. I think
and driving quality, driving standards, with a real focus. Our judging criteria for hospitality and retail is all about Southwest quality food and drink, how you communicate it to your customers, so that when they walk into an outlet, they can actually go, oh, I'm actually seeing local maps. I'm understanding who the producers are. The people running this business obviously really think carefully about how they supply, how they source their products, and it's incredible the care and the passion and the values that people put on that in their businesses. It's world class. I think the Southwest now for food and drink.
Really definitely.
Because that leads into like your SALSA accreditation, because they care about traceability as well, don't they?
They do. I mean, forgive me, I'm not an expert on the accreditation, but I know that it gives people the ability to track the journey of their products from manufacture right through to the outlet that they're selling it in.
Yeah. So I mean, in terms of food, then you must be sampling lots of food.
It's hard.
I love judging food; would be amazing. But I mean, I don't think I'm quite the level to be able to give I know what I like, but very hard job to do. I think
it is, but that's just as important. And as I've learned more about the judging process, what I've learned is that it's not just about the expert opinion. Because all very well, you've got standards, say, if you're producing a wine or a beer or a cider. There are standards that people are expected to adhere to.
Sure.
But it doesn't matter if people don't like it. Yeah. So at the end of the day...
all right, it's really well made, but no one likes the taste.
It's a bit like an Oscar-winning movie that isn't that great, really.
It ticks all the boxes for the experts in the industry, but it's not good to watch.
Yes.
There's definitely...
It's a balance. It's a balance. It really is. So when it comes to the judging, yes, we've got experts. We've got people who are trained in chocolate or coffee or other food products, so they know what to look for. But equally, on that judging table will be somebody who's got a good palate, who loves food and drink, because it's just as important to get that balance right. So, yeah.
And where do pasties fit into all of this?
Very importantly,
because that's quite an important one for as you go further down,
and
right?
pork scratchings as well.
Pork scratchings. I don't think they've got them down here as good as up there.
I mean, I haven't seen like any local producer. You probably know better than we do.
There is
scratchings, not so much biltong, yes.
Yeah.
Plenty biltong.
Yeah. I had some biltong at Taste of the West show. Really, really good stuff. So obviously,
you bought me some recently for my birthday, didn't you?
Yeah.
Very good.
Complete Meats.
Oh,
nice plug to them.
Yes.
Yeah. Drove all the way. It was Jake's birthday on the weekend, so I drove to.
And a bottle of South African red to go with it.
Had to be.
Yeah, so he did treat me.
Very good.
I know.
We actually make our own biltong at home now. As well.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, well done.
Biltong box. My wife and my son are obsessed.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the few things they've nearly come to blows over. Is biltong.
Yeah.
It gets weighed.
Yeah.
It arrives.
Yeah.
Or we make it.
Yeah.
And it's weighed so that it's fair.
Yeah. Oh wow.
You can't go by strips. You got because some are chunkier than others.
Exactly.
So you got.
Well, also, I used to produce a lot of biltong just for friends and mostly for British people, and I think British people are starting to learn a lot about biltong these days. And if someone likes it more dry, that actually cuts into a lot of your profit because it's still the same size piece of meat. It's obviously weighs less, but they want to dry it because, and that's what I sell mostly to British people, but then like South African people are really fussy because they've got their ideas about what it should be like, and
they're just fussy. They give you let's be honest. You know what I mean? They're just difficult.
But yeah, I mean, biltongs come on leaps and bounds in the UK because it's a really healthy snack. It's got really high in protein.
I think high protein snacks are a big area for, and people are going back to actual animal produce more. The idea now that people have realised that actually, like, we've been doing this quite a long time, and animal produce of good quality is really important, and not so much produce things that are maybe made with a lot of chemicals that say they're high protein.
And I think meat is a classic example. You know, if you've got a locally produced small herd, grass-fed beef, it's not the same product as a 1,000-unit mass-produced beast that is produced.
You can tell massively though when you can tell, like it's night and day, and I think people need to stretch a little bit further. Try and advise people more to go to the butchers and talk to them and see if you can find a good one locally. But even that trade's changed quite a lot. But I think there is still really good butchers around that are busy every week.
Yes.
That you can go in and ask for a selection of meat. It'll be cheaper probably than the supermarket in a lot of ways, but it's more the quality will be higher. And hopefully they've got good inroads into some of these producers that are actually local farms that they should be buying from. Not always the case, unfortunately, but more so, if they've been around and they're a traditional butcher, they probably are. But that makes a big difference. I think it helps a lot.
Also the best place to get a pasty as well.
Yeah, they do make good. They do make good pasties.
Yeah.
Although I don't know, like you got Devon and you got Cornwall, and there's a bit of a rift there with pasties. You can't.
Don't talk about scones either.
Scones or scones.
No.
What is it? Cream and one's got it the wrong way around and all that.
This is it's going to create a huge debate.
Clotted cream down here is good though, isn't it?
It is in both counties.
It's decent, isn't it? Yeah,
we can agree on that.
So when's the next event? When's the next big milestone date or whatever's coming up?
Well, this time of year, it's not events that we're organising. It's all the public shows. It's the consumer-focused events. Well, the weather's nice. People are getting out and selling direct. our shows are always in the winter.
Yeah.
January, February, March time. Most people come along because they're looking to set their menus for the season.
Yeah.
They want to plan their drinks. They want to plan what they're going to do, and the shows give them a great way of doing that.
Yeah.
So, but they need the lead time then.
Yeah.
So they're ready for Easter.
Yeah.
Well,
you can't just switch ranges out, can you? Like straight away, it takes a little bit of time.
There's work, I guess, on all aspects of their business, from the tills through to the menus, through to staff knowledge and training as well.
What do you think about this? We go a little bit political. What do you think about this VAT reduction thing that they've tried to pull out of the stops?
It's not new. I mean, it's great to see Tom Kerridge getting involved.
Yeah.
There have been people trying to do this for the last 20, 30 years.
I think hospitality needs that, like, removing, really.
Well, it would
I
put
think
us on a level
almost
playing
down to,
field.
or like just remove it, just get rid of it. I don't think it's fair. I think realistically, these businesses are a backbone of like society.
Yeah.
I think to go out and socialise and have meals with people, like why are we making their businesses struggle so much?
I agree.
Not really fair at all. I think if and again, maybe there's some rules in that. Maybe they have to buy more locally. They have to put money back into the, they can make it so that it all blends out. There's no real thought behind it, but I do feel like hospitality is struggling, and I think that's facts.
Some are doing brilliantly.
Some are doing. You always get outliers, don't you, in every scenario? But I think in general,
what we see in the southwest is that the top section, maybe the top 25-30%, is doing really, really well.
Yeah.
There will always be the money to go to the Padstows, Rock, and the real quality outlets that we've got in Torquay. Some beautiful Michelin.
There's a lot of new restaurants opening. I whistled then. A lot of new restaurants opening in Torquay. Seems to be quite affluent with new businesses coming in, but there is quite a lot of them.
Yes.
And you kind of worry, there's a lot of you here. Does it work throughout the winter? Maybe in the summer it's quite easy.
Yes.
But you've got a lot of other months of the year to work out.
It's important to build up local trade. We see groups like Butcombe Pubs, who are Somerset based originally, and they're seeing their profit, their turnover increase year on year because they're offering a really good offering of quality to people with provenance, with good marketing, and there are people doing well. Yes, the hospitality sector desperately needs help. The huge big middle market of it needs help, and to put us on a level playing field with the rest of Europe, where those sorts of businesses are not taxed the same.
Yeah.
Then yes, I really strongly agree that we should be helping. And as you say, the pub often is the heart of the community.
Yeah.
I've always lived in a place where the pub's really important to me. Socialising, but also for ongoing problems we're going to have, like loneliness. It provides somewhere for people to go and sit and chat, or even just listen to conversation.
Well, we missed them when they closed them, didn't we?
Yes.
We definitely missed them, and then now they're closing anyway because there's no one to keep them going in a lot of places. I think I've seen it more further up where, like the Midlands and Shropshire and places where I've spent time, where they are just closing every week. And I think that's because they don't have the tourism.
Yes.
So those areas are really struggling, or they're just not making any money.
No.
Yeah.
So they wipe their face, but they're not making any money. So it's then a labour of love rather than
it's long hours. It's hard work.
It's a lot of graft. Yeah,
definitely. And you do need a reward out of that.
You do. You should do. You take a lot of risk. You do a lot of. You're doing a lot. You're also giving jobs to the community, and you're buying hopefully locally. And I think all of that should be rewarded with a little bit at the end of the year to say, right, okay, fair enough. And hopefully that goes back into doing more with it. So, well, listen, it's been great to meet you, and I've learnt lots. I try and come in a little bit prepped, but I thought, no, I'm going to come in quite cold and see what this is about.
Yes.
Because then if I'm learning, everyone's learning. So thank you so much for coming in. I look forward to coming to whatever's on next.
Hey, you're always welcome to the shows.
Yeah, I will. I love a food show, and I love getting out and seeing local businesses.
Yeah.
So thank you and good luck with everything.
Hey, thank you for inviting me. It's been a pleasure coming and chatting.
Pleasure.
Cheers.
Man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, cheers.